Oh shit, I'm live. Bro, I was literally just like, oh, the music stopped. And it got really quiet all of a sudden. I was like, oh shit, that's where I come in. Oh fuck. Hello, hello. It has been some time. Nope, that's the one. That's the one I want. Welcome, welcome. Welcome in everybody. Thank you all for joining me on today's powerful presentation. I'm a little nervous. It's been a while since I've streamed. I don't remember the last. I think it might have been Marathon, right? But either way, it has been a minute, and excuse me. This last week, no, it was at OffKai. I didn't really announce it or anything, just because I don't really like doing that too much. But now that it's over and I'm back home, I get to tell you guys how fucking awesome it is and how awesome it was. I am a little sorry if I seem like a little like on edge or like a little nervous because I'm going to be showing a lot of photos and I had to like comb through a bunch of them to pick out specific ones, and I can pick out even more specific ones and then fucking what's the word? What's the word I'm thinking of? Like fucking like make sure they're like safe to show and shit. But yeah, I guess the stream is either gonna be like 3 hours or like 1 second. It's gonna be somewhere. It's either gonna be long as shit or really fucking short, depending on how much I yap and how much stuff there is to like elaborate on. I had a lot of fun. I went with my good buddies Marzo, Delphi, and Vero. Made sure we all made sure that it was okay to talk about the trip and such and such. But yeah, oh shit. Oh fuck, I knew I was forgetting something. I was forgetting my notes. There we go. Oh, I had this whole fucking screen pulled up, huh? Excuse me. I have so much shit on my second monitor, dude. I tried to install so like I don't have like whatchamacallit, like Microsoft Office or some shit. So I was just using Google Slides, and I've never used that before. So I mean you'll see the slideshow when you see it, and you'll see how much work and effort I put into this. But more importantly, I tried using the fucking like presentation feature, and it was just like it's such a pain in the ass. I think I finally got it to work. Hopefully there will be no more mishaps. There might be a little bit of scuff, so bear with me. But oh my fucking god, this thing was a nightmare to try and use. I've been working on this shit for like 6 hours. That's not intentional. But I've been working on this shit for like 6 hours. So I'm a little all over the place. So forgive me. Which is funny because you think after like 6 hours that I would have like some inkling of what I wanna get down. I think I have everything ready to go though. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, I almost fucked up the thing. I think this is gonna work. Excuse me? Chatting's still working? Okay. I'm kind of in the fucking way real quick. Get the fuck out of the way, dumbass. Oop. Badass OffKai invasion. That time I got reincarnated as they tried to fumble all their high fives and bought so much merch. Not enough. Don't worry because your boys go with us also got some things to compensate patent pending. Damn, I almost made that through that clean as fuck though. I almost ripped it through. I almost ripped through that. Oh, I forgot the tweet. Oh shit. Oh, I forgot the live tweet. Excuse me while I do that real quick. Actually, supposed to be again. Boop. Welcome back. I'm still alive. But yeah. Am I? Ooh, hang on. Actually, I got one on my screen one more time just in case I fucking dox myself. Wouldn't that be funny? I think there's a very low chance of that happening today, and I need to make sure that I don't do it because I do kind of want to save this VOD. Otherwise, oops. Otherwise, oops. On the right account. Boop, boop. There we go. Okay. Back to it. Where were we? So I think OffKai took place through Friday, well technically Thursday to Sunday, and then we got back on Monday. But me and my friends went on a little bit of a road trip, so we're gonna go ahead and start with that. We had some interesting stuff happen on the road trip. For one, the one thing I want to say though is that the place is just absolutely beautiful. Hey, Ghost! Welcome in. I don't know why it's not appearing on my multi-chat. That's not good. Why is it not showing? Filter. It's supposed to be on. Okay, I gotta keep a good eye. I'm sorry if I miss YouTube chat, because it for some reason is not popping up on my OBS. I'll have to check that out later. But yeah, the actual like road trip was actually really nice. It's so bizarre heading through like California, which is, you know, where I'm from, by the way. I think I mentioned that a few times before, but it's so weird, like driving through like a whole big ass state and seeing how different the landscape is in certain areas. So like, we were on the road for about 6 hours, I want to say. We left like at 8, somewhere around there. And it was pretty fun. It was pretty nice. I actually thought it was going to be like a little bit more like difficult, or like it was gonna feel longer, but it actually felt really fast considering. We didn't have too many stops. I think we only stopped twice. I think once for gas and then once for food, if I recall. Which we stopped at Denny's, which is gonna bring us to our first slide. As you can see, Denny's was an interesting adventure. So over on the bottom slide, you can see that we have the fields of Bakersfield, which were fucking beautiful. It's just nothing but farmland out there and rolling hills that just look almost like that. Sometimes a little bit lower, sometimes a little bit higher, but it was just absolutely beautiful. I really like nature. I like going camping a lot. Granted, I don't do it as often as much as I should, I feel like. But just seeing the scenery and everything, it really felt so surreal to be like, wow, this is really close by. This ain't even that far and shit like that. But then the Denny's happens, and Denny's was cool. I fucking love Denny's. Denny's is always there for me, you know? It's been there for me for everything. Graduation, middle school, baseball games, fucking bands, marching band, and shit like that. It's always been there for me. So when we had the chance to stop by at Denny's, I was fucking hyped. I was hyped. And then I saw this up here. If you're wondering what this is a claw machine that for some reason has some brain rot in it. I don't know who allowed that to happen. Oh, I think I need to switch my cameras. Nope. There we go. I don't know who allowed that to happen, but it was in here and I couldn't resist. Unfortunately, I did not take a picture of the infamous Tesla superchargers that were right outside. That was really the main reason why we were going. I don't know why, but like when I forget who checked on the map, but someone checked on the map and saw like what was the nearest like restaurant, and for some reason they pointed them specifically at the Tesla supercharger instead of the Denny's. So we went to go see that essentially. But not too long on the road afterwards, we finally got to the Airbnb, which was so fucking beautiful. Honestly, it was so funny because I was talking to my mom about this, and I was telling her where we were going, and she was telling me, like, oh yeah, they got like a winery over there or something. And you go there and you kind of expect to see farmland, but you don't really expect like what it's going to look like until you get there. And like this photo, like in the bottom left, is the backyard that had like it's kind of hard to see. I kind of wish I did take a closer photo of them, but I think this was the only photo I got of the backyard. Where like it's so beautiful, man. There's just like plants and vegetation and shit everywhere. The place was real nice and spacious up here. It was warm when we got there, but once that AC kicks in, it was cold as shit. And then the kitchen, and then there's my bedroom here in the top left. That bed was soft as fuck. Well, okay, let me redo it. It was really soft, but like firm. You know what I mean? And that's how I really like my beds. Like I like a nice firm bed. And like the first day, what did we do? Let me pull up my notes real quick. What did we do on the first day? Okay, so we get the call machine, Beautiful Hills, Airbnb. Oh, yeah. So the first day, we basically, I don't remember like too much of what we did, but I know that I have really dog shit memory. We're about to see this on full display right now. I know the first day we went to go pick up our badge. Which, you know, I don't, like, okay, I'm not sure what I was expecting to see, but it honestly wasn't like that bad, because like we saw the line kind of coming out the building, and then it loops around inside for a few times, but honestly it moved really fucking fast. So we weren't actually there for too long, I'd say, but afterwards we picked up our badges and then we went grocery shopping. I think we went to Walmart because Marzo wanted to cook for us, which was very, very, very nice of him. But when we got back, like I was just fucking tired because, you know, we were like sitting all day, which I know that's like, it sounds stupid when you say that like that, but like legitimately sitting in one place for like fucking 7 hours or so, and then getting up, immediately standing up and walking around for like the rest of the day, and you come back and you're just like so fucking tired. I think we were gonna hang out and do something, but on God, I fucking laid down in the bed, right? Like I put on like my sleep clothes, got in the bed, grabbed like this fucking blanket that they had in the closet, and it was so fluffy and warm that I was just like, oh man, this bed feels nice. And I just fucking instantly knocked out. It was, to be fair, it was like 1 a.m. and I'd been up since like 5:30, I want to say. So I was pretty out of it. And honestly, if I'm being real, I was kind of out of it for like most of the day. Or most of the trip. Like, I don't have too much of a social battery. Like, I'm an introvert. So being around people for so long was already like making me real tired. But like all the walking and just moving about, trying to get to schedule things, like you're literally like your whole day is planned out. Like you get up and you only have like 1 to 2 hours to yourself, and then you're just out the rest of the day. And then you get back and you're like, I really want to go to sleep, but also I don't want to just like not hang out and just like chill, because that's like one of the best things. Is to hang out with your buddies, and so that you stay up for a little bit longer, and then like right as you're about to just die, you're just like, all right, let's call it a night, and then you die. Yeah, and then you die for a couple hours. Which like, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe like, well, to be honest, I did kind of get up a little too early because I thought they were coming to pick me up. Like I was the last one to get picked up, and so I thought that they were gonna get here sooner, and they ended up getting here later. And so I got up a little bit too early, and like the whole time I was just like stressing out over like packing stuff. Because if you're anything like me, and you got like ADHD and shit, you're just constantly checking like all of your stuff. Like a list only helps you get the things in the bag. After that, it doesn't really matter how many times I check that list, because I just don't believe it. I don't believe myself to have like written things down properly. I don't believe that everything is in the list. I don't believe that the list is even gonna work right. Just things I might have forgotten, maybe at packs, things like that. And so like that whole time, like the whole day was just so tiring. But like after we had like taken off and actually got on the road, everything after that, it's a good tiring. It's a good thing. But that's gonna bring us to Friday, the first day of the convention. Which honestly, again, like I was kind of surprised at how easy like everything was, because I've only ever been to one convention before, and it was Anime Impulse. I think over in, was it Irvine? I want to say somewhere in SoCal. But it kind of took a while to get in. Like, I remember, like, security was a little, like, hella tight. So, like, any, like, a lot, like, whatchamacallit, their security gates that would, like, do the beeps and shit would constantly be going off for pretty much anything. So, it took a while for people to get in. But OffKai was surprisingly, like, good. Maybe a little bit too lax, in my opinion, because I'm pretty sure that there was one of the times where I walked past security, and I don't think I was supposed to, but they just kind of didn't see me. Granted, none of the times that I went through, none of my stuff went off, and I'm honestly not even really sure why, because I did have like a lot of electronics. I had my earbuds, my battery pack, my phone, and then I also had like my keys, my wallets, like all of that. There's a lot of metal shit in my backpack too, so I'm just like, I have no idea why none of that went on, or didn't go off, but like I didn't get checked a single time when I went in. But I also never like made the thing beep off. But yeah, as you can see in this photo right here, you can see my badge. I did just go as Metalier's, which honestly, in my head, I was just like, why did I do that? Because I didn't really want to be recognized. Like, I don't, like, going forward, it's like, I don't want to be, I don't want people to know I'm going to a convention, and I don't really want to be recognized at one unless I'm, like, meeting people, like, specifically. Like, I go out of my way to meet someone. It's not like, it's just like a personal thing, you know? Just like, I'd rather keep my privacy, in a way. But, you know, it was fine. Not that I'd be fucking recognized. Little 300 follower Andy over here, which I love you guys, by the way. Thank you. But if any of you, besides, like, the people I went with, were, like, legitimately at OffKai, and recognized me, I'd be fucking, like, that's lightning in a bottle right there. But you can see I obliterated. I got a bandit on my thumb because I fucking obliterated my thumb. There's a in my room. I don't think I showed it in the pictures, but there's a back door, like a sliding glass door, that goes into the backyard. And the lock kind of got jammed a little bit, so I went to go unlock it. And I pushed it down, and it just fucking like rips half of my thumbnail. Thankfully not like clean off, because that would have fucking sucked even more so. But you know, I'm an idiot. And I ended up getting injured on the first day, which I think I got injured every single con day. I don't think I got injured when I was leaving, but it was definitely every con day. So the first thing I ended up doing was going to the our first panel here, which we actually planned a lot of panels, which in hindsight, way too fucking many. Way too many panels. Which they were all pretty nice. I definitely didn't dislike going to any of them, and I didn't feel bored. But like, I was, whatchamacallit, I was a little fatigued after the first day. I was like, man, wait a minute, this was just panel day. But the first panel was named Shill Yourself, SHILL. Please don't, I'm not Vero, please don't ban me, Twitch. Our first panel was Shill Yourself. I wish I could share photos of this, but there was actually no photos were allowed to be taken during this. And then I also wish I could credit the person that's hosted the panel. I believe that they went by... Oh, maybe I don't even say. Maybe I don't even say. No, it's on the website. I believe they go by Becca. I unfortunately forgot to follow them on Twitter, so I don't really know how to give you guys any links or stuff, but if you go on OffKai's website and you go to the scheduled, you can probably find them there. They were really nice. The panel was about basically just not having a shit application when applying for things, you know, like more back-end stuff like sponsorships or like agencies and stuff like that, or like groups and stuff. Basically just, it was basically just like making sure that you know how to properly describe and market yourself. It's very informative, and I had a good time, but I don't really have too much to say about it, because it's kind of just like, I don't want to say boring job stuff, because I feel like it's a bit insulting, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. People are creep, welcome in, welcome in. Now, the next part was the first time we went to Artist Alley, which Artist Alley was It's always a highlight for me. I always love going to Artist Alley. That's honestly the main reason why I wanted to go, because I love picking up like physical fan arts and you know, like merchandise or like collectibles and stuff like that. But the first thing I wanted to display, because I didn't really take too many pictures walking around, because I always feel weird like pulling out my phone and taking pictures of like people's like artwork and stuff, because it's kind of, there's so much stuff that I don't really have time to like process whether or not it says like no photography or something like that, because sometimes vendors do have that kind of rule. But I was able to take pictures of these right here, which are some outfits created based off of some other VTubers, and of course we have Mint up here, Mint Fantome, Kiara Takanashi from Hololive, and also I believe this was Armored Juniper, which these were really fucking cool to see. There were so many cool like cosplayers that I wish I had more photos with, but I'm a very passive person, and so wait, there was an expo? Yeah, so the expo is called OffKai Expo. It is a VTuber convention that's held typically, I think it's always been held in San Jose, California, and it just ended Sunday. But yeah, where am I? So there was so many other booths, because like I said, I've only ever been to Anime Impulse, and Anime Impulse was like maybe 4 lanes, and that's it. Just like 2 vendors on each side, and like that was it. Which, don't get me wrong, I loved Anime Impulse. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end though. But there was just so much there. So many cool cosplayers. I think one of my favorite ones was probably someone cosplayed as Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. It was such a fucking clean cosplay. I want to say that Vero got a photo with them, but I don't have that photo, and I don't think I can show it either. The other thing that we saw, it was, you know, if you haven't seen Isaac Clarke, yeah. God, that guy's cosplay was so awesome. There's a lot of, I was honestly a little surprised at how many Spartans from Halo that I saw. Like people, either like it'd be like someone's ODST outfits, or like just a straight up like Spartan that was custom made, and it was so fucking cool to see, man. I would love to go as like a Halo Spartan. That'd be such like a dream of mine, but that shit's gotta be so expensive. So like a hella respect for people that can do that. So many other cosplayers too, just cosplaying as VTubers. I think the ones that stood out to be the most were probably GG Marin cosplayers from Hololive. Probably because their color scheme is like orange and yellow, so they really pop in a crowd. But also I'm a huge Grem. I'm a huge GG fan, so maybe I do have that kind of bias. The other thing that was really funny to see was how many like actual, I call them VTubers on a stick, but like those little like VTuber bots that like roll around. They do like, you know, like virtual convention tours, either for like Twitch chats or just themselves, or even like they're doing like a roaming meet and greet kind of thing. It was funny seeing those in person, because like it doesn't, in my brain, it doesn't really register. Like you see it and you're like, yeah, it's a VTuber. But it doesn't really click for me, and I'm like, oh no, wait, no, that's a real person on the inside that screen. Like on the other side of that screen, it's like actually going around and like saying hi to everyone, meeting fans in their community and stuff. And like, for me at least personally, it's not something that you really think about until it's right there in front of you, and even then it takes like a second to like settle in. Like, oh wow, so like this is what it's like, you know. But we didn't spend too much time during the first day in Artist Alley, just because we had booked so many panels that we were kind of like cramped for time. I honestly thought we were gonna have more, but just from how big the actual like place was and how much stuff was there in it, we honestly spent it was not gonna be possible to spend too much time on the first day. But I did manage to grab a couple things on the first day, and here's what I grabbed. I got a Hakos Bales poster from Hololive, Mori Calliope as well as a couple of charms. So I got GG and CC and Koseki Bijo, as well as a Mori Calliope charm. This Ghost in the Shell one was gifted for free. I think it's the one I got, I'm pretty sure, from But same vendor, I got these 2 posters and this pin, the Deadbeat Chin, Deadbeat Charm. There we go. But this Ghost in the Shell little print here was just a bonus one. I wish I remembered who the vendor was, but they do have an online store. So maybe you can reverse image search this or something, because I highly recommend. I did want to get one of their hoodies. I wanted to get this Mori Calliope one, but as a hoodie. But unfortunately, they had like sold out. I think the only sizes they had was small, which unfortunately does not fit me. Despite being fucking short, no, I am not as small. So unfortunately, same thing as just with this Tomoe Umari, I want to say. This postcard or this yeah, I think it's a postcard because it does have writing on the back. Was free. She was her booth was just giving those out for free. So I was just like, yeah, why not? Why not? I like her design anyways. But then that brought us to our second panel for the day, which was Live TD for Dummies. This one was more so, I kind of just went because Vera wanted to go to this one. And even though like I'll never be like a Live TD rigger, but this was so fucking funny. It was hosted by, I want to say, how do you pronounce his name? Alicia Delontano and Dianco Lastrea. Both really fucking funny. Even with how exhausted I was and how fucking cold those rooms were, I kept like, I don't want to say falling asleep, but like basically falling asleep, like nodding off a little bit because I was just fucking tired, walking around, didn't sleep too much, and also it was hella cold in that room. But the hosts were extremely funny and extremely interactive with the audience, and I would absolutely go check out their stuff. Those are their Twitter handles right there if you do want to go check them out. But having funny hosts was a bit of a recurring theme, for this day, because we get to our third panel, which was the Localization Idols panel, hosted by Reichi and Jubiphonic. Both very fucking funny hosts. I think it was probably my favorite panel that day, just because like I started off wanting to do like music covers and stuff, and I haven't really done that, and it's another thing that I'll also talk about more towards the end, the end of the stream. But it was cool seeing like how I don't know what else to call it, so I just wrote it down as otaku culture changed over time. Because I do remember, like, it wasn't actually too long ago that, like, like first off, VTubers weren't a thing, right? Or at the very least, they were, like, so primitive and minuscule that, like, I want to say maybe you heard of only one or two. Like, everyone knows, like, Kizuna AI, right? Or Kizuna AI. But even then, like having English covers and stuff was more like something that you just saw or came across on YouTube if it went slightly viral, or if you were already watching like anime episodes on YouTube back when that was a thing. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to anybody who can remember watching anime episodes in 3 parts, 10 minutes each, just uploaded for free on YouTube. But like that sort of era, watching it like transform into like a little bit of a more like mainstream thing, and then now it's like fully up front and center. It was really cool. It was also funny how they brought up 4Kids, because that was one of the things that I remember, because they were talking about like how there can be good and bad adaptations, or good and bad localizations. And the good localization is more of the stuff that you see more commonly today, because it's a lot easier to do, but back then it really wasn't. Especially when it came to like more mainstream things. So the biggest example was 4Kids. And that was one of the things I immediately thought of, because if anyone hasn't seen like the 4Kids like anime openings for like, I don't know, like Sonic X or One Piece, the One Piece rap, which is fucking legendary. Like both those are like hella nostalgic, but they're bad. they're hella bad. And they're horrible ways to like localize something from overseas. But they were very, very informative, and I had a great time. Also, go follow them, and you can find them on Twitter and such. But that kind of brought us to the end of the day, mainly because we had a 4th panel scheduled, but unfortunately, all the panels from that room were delayed by 30 minutes, so we actually got there a little too early. technically. We thought we were gonna be like running late a little bit. When we got there, we ended up having to wait like I think almost 2 hours or something. A whole 2 hours just for them to be like, yeah, we don't. They told me 15 minutes, but I'm not really sure. And so like me and Vero were just like hella tired already, so we just kind of wanted to go back. Because I don't think we had anything planned that day, but we were just so tired. So we ended up going back. But before we left, there's a couple more things I want to talk about today that I don't really know how to categorize. So right here, they had in the badge pickup and gaming area, they had a bunch of like cardboard cutouts. I think they're called standees, but they had a bunch of standees of a bunch of different VTubers and such that we got to take pictures with. And I think my favorite one is probably this, the top left. The fucking doobie John Cena is so fucking funny. I believe this is Limu as well, and then Mint. And then over here, they have Fillion, because I guess Fillion's been gone for quite some time now, so someone just put like a memorial in the bottom right. And I thought that was so fucking funny, actually. And I also got these tacos. These tacos were so fucking big. I'm not gonna lie. They were basically open burritos. Like, I was hungry, and I was craving tacos. Like, so much. I was hella craving tacos. And I was specifically saying, yo, I want some real tacos. I was talking to Vera. I was like, yo, I want some, like, real tacos, though. And in my brain, I was thinking street tacos, aka, like, a street vendor. But one of her friends recommended a place, and I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was literally, like, down the street from the convention. But, like, yeah, let's go to that one. Go to that place. Fucking $5 tacos, dude. These shits are fucking $5. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? But then I actually got them. And I can see why. Because they're fucking full. These things are packed. I think that one right there is actually a quesadilla. I think that's Vero's quesadilla that she got. But yeah, so that was pretty much day one. Which brings us to day two, which we had a bit of a thing. So, like I said, I went with Marzo, Vero, and Delphi. Marzo didn't actually go to the convention. He was just there just to both chill out, visit some other friends, and etc. Right? Delphi was also there for the same thing for the most part, but she did go with us to the convention on Saturday. And so Marzo decided to bring us something that was a scavenger hunt, which I just realized I don't fucking remember, like, if I don't remember how many points we got. But we did have like a quest to complete. So we have take a group photo in front of the venue, take a VTuber Classic photo, which, you know, is the we got 30. I do remember the score, but I'm trying to I don't remember, like, I don't have it written down like what we actually did. Take a VTuber Classic photo, which, you know, it's like you load your model on your phone and someone takes a picture in a circle or some shit. Take a pic with a cosplayer. Google controversial facts about Irium near the Irium booth. Attend a panel, attend a meet and greet, cross the intersection of the convention center quickly without running. Have a member of you learn. Wait, what? Have a member of your team use the bathroom. I need to put on my glasses. I thought I can get through it without putting on my glasses. There we go. Have a member of your team use the restroom, buy a piece of merchandise, high five a furry, observe a flower. High five a furry was actually kind of crazy because I did not see a single furry at this convention. I think maybe we saw one that almost counted, but we weren't sure if that one was going to count. So, OffKai, no furries. No furries in OffKai, surprisingly. Observe a flower. Intently observe the 18 plus section. Give a formal 90-second observation about OffKai. Have an abstract conversation at a bench. Attend the musical. Find your really big plushie. Have each member of your team imitate a VTuber. Have a conversation with a cardboard cutout of a VTuber. Do an awesome dance at every section of OffKai. And do a TikTok dance in front of an OffKai sponsored booth. And make a new friend. Exchange info and everything. Needless to say, this thing was not going to get fully completed. Not with the type of person I am, at least. But I'm actually kind of surprised at how many we got. We did, like Vero said, we did end up getting 30. I know we did take a VTuber Classic photo. I took a pic with We were a little loose on cosplayer. I think it counts as a cosplayer, but I was told that it doesn't, but we're gonna count it anyways, as in like a different thing. Which we will get to that later. I almost Googled the controversial facts about Irium near the Irium booth. Almost did. Except Vero stopped me. Vero stopped me because we were right next to it. But almost got that one. We did attend the panel. Vero technically did attend a meet and greet. And I'm pretty sure Delphi did too. Not 100% sure. Cross the intersection of the convention center quickly without running. That's a gimme. That's a gimme, you know. Who doesn't do that? Okay, we actually jaywalked a couple times, not gonna lie. But like at the crosswalk and shit. Have a member of your team use the restroom. Got that one. Buy a piece of merchandise. I definitely got that one. High five a furry. Did not get that one. Which, observe a flower. I don't think we got that one. No, yes we did. Yes we did. Because there was like a bouquet next to some of the cars that they had in the badge area. Which I think I have a picture of. I'm not 100% sure. Intently observe the 18+ section. I did not do that. If I remember that as a thing, because I'm not gonna lie, when Saturday came around, I kind of mostly forgot about this, because I was fucking tired. I have an object conversation at the bench. I did do this. I was talking about how surreal it was to see like so many like people here that are like, you know, not only like fans of VTubers, but like 99% of them are likely VTubers themselves. You know what I mean? And it's like basically stuff like that, right? Attend the musical. Technically, we did. I think we kind of had to like stretch the definition because we did go to the Maid Cafe Saturday, which they did perform a cover of Snow Halation. So technically that counted, but not quite. But we did end up getting the point anyways. Find a really big plushie. Did that. There was a giant mint plushie in the Mintmobile at the fucking car showcase. Have each member of your team imitate a VTuber. We almost got this one. We almost did. Because I think it was purely by coincidence, but like Alice wanted me to do an impression of Connor or like Sea Dog, you know, one of Iron Mouse's friends, or like it was from Trash Taste. And I think someone else did another thing, but I don't remember what. But not all of us did. Have a conversation with a cardboard cutout of a VTuber. I forgot to do this one. I honestly would have done this one, but I kind of forgot about it. Do an awesome dance at every section of OffKai. Bro, I was just kind of dancing the whole time. Not gonna lie. So I think we did get this one. And then we did not. It wasn't a TikTok dance though. These were all Lyrist originals. Make a new friend. No, did not make any new friends. But that does bring us to our first panel once we actually got there, which was at 10 in the fucking morning. Songwriting 101 by Ava Ananova. Super fucking cool. So I've taken a couple of college courses on just like music stuff in general, and I have made a few songs, like very amateur songs, like for assignments and stuff. But getting to see someone else's process was really cool, because Ava, who fucking lovely person, has a very sweet and whatchamacallit. She has a very soothing voice. Let me say that. She does post-hardcore music, which is my fucking jam. I had no idea like who she was prior to this, so going to that panel for the first time was my first impression of her, and she's pretty fucking cool. I would absolutely recommend you go listen to the song "Forget You Me" on YouTube. Do that, because she showed us like how, like, her process behind that song. I think she wrote it like 5 years ago, she said. Like her process for that song, like how you can get into that kind of mindset, and you know what you should be looking out for and stuff. The main thing that I took away from that was actually surprising, and she was so sweet. Yeah. The main thing that I took away from that panel was like how it was very surprising to me to see how much easier it is for you to just start wherever you're most comfortable starting with. Like in like a lot of times that I try to start something, I usually get caught up at the beginning because I don't know how to get to the part that I started with in my head. So like, for example, let's say I have a really catchy chorus in my head. just for whatever reason, like in my brain, I'm like, well, you start with the intro because that's the beginning of the song, but you don't have that in your head yet. So you end up getting caught up in the weeds of you trying to get to the part that you already know. But her advice was essentially just starting at what you already know. And I was just like, oh my god, that's fucking genius. She was really sweet. Her music fucking rocks, so if you listen to any like post-hardcore or stuff that's slightly on the heavier side, I absolutely go recommend you follow her both on Twitter or any of her socials and absolutely stream her song Forget You Me. It's a fucking banger. I would honestly play it here, but I feel like I don't want to like necessarily get like a claim or something, or like, you know what I mean. But after that we did go back to Artist Alley. And like I said, I didn't get too much on the first day, but the second day is when I got a lot. That was my fucking big haul. And honestly, I still feel like I should have gotten more. I think I was a little bit under budget, because I specifically had a budget for Artist Alley. I'm not gonna say how much it was, but I did want to hit the limit. But I did end up stopping myself before I did hit that limit, just so that I could use that to, you know, cover some other costs like along the way. But I got my two first, I think it was called like Happy coats, which are like these things up here. I got one for Mori Calliope and Joekeeper. These things fucking rock. I love these. It sucks that I'm not gonna be able to wear them anywhere else except for conventions or like concerts and shit. But this was hella nice. And then I got these 3 prints up top. I got one of Stay Gold, Irisum Hololive, and then CCGG, and a bunch of Hololive plushes. And then of course I got the Demon Dice prints here, and these 3. What these things called? It's called Shikis. I forget what they're called, but they're basically just like they're basically like thicker prints, if I can say. And also I have like this little Agnes Tachyon Shiki something. Gotcha. Yeah, one of those. That's what she said. Yeah, there's a little Agnes Tachyon charm. I did wish that I did get a little bit more Uma merch, because I did see not as much as I thought I was going to see, but I did want to get a Manhattan Cafe charm, and I just kind of it just slipped my mind. And I think by the time that I remembered, I was already like, I should probably stop spending money and stuff like that. So yeah, so Artist Alley 2 was hella nice. But we got to our second panel that day, which was Level Up Your Life, hosted by Rita Kamishiro. Super lovely person. It was, I think I forgot to mention this, but the Songwriting 101 was my favorite panel just in general of that weekend. This one is probably my second favorite panel of that entire weekend. I have a very like close relationship with mental health as of lately, as of recently, I mean, relatively. And so like I always like to pick apart media and take lessons from media and apply it to not just my life, but just life in general. And that was exactly what this panel was. It was Level Up Your Life, to which Rita was going over how you can take life lessons from video games and such like that, like stories that happen that you play along with can still apply to your life. And what you can do with that is, well, obviously, whatever you want to do. But you can, essentially, like, there's tons of benefits to it. And I have a huge appreciation for how much advocacy she actually does for mental health awareness. I wish I could remember, like, off the top of my head, because I forgot to. I did take some photos, but I wasn't entirely sure if I can share photos from the panel, so you just have to kind of take my word for it. But she did have a lot of references and stuff. I believe she actually did a stream yesterday going over the con, because while she didn't take too many questions at the actual convention herself, she did post like a link to kind of like a Google. It was a Google form to where you can submit questions yourself, and then she went over on stream. So if you want to like learn more about like what actually happened during that panel, you can absolutely go to her channel on YouTube and go to that live stream. But she was super friendly. She was extremely interactive. Like she kept calling me like, "Oh, which one of you? How many people in here like play this game? How many people understand what I mean when I say this and stuff like that?" Yeah, so I love this panel a lot, and mainly because like one of the things that tricked me the hardest, if you guys will allow me to just like peel back the curtain a little bit, just a tiny bit, because when we did the Hellblade playthrough of the first game, I want to say it was like a year or two ago back at this point, but when we played through that game had a very personal meaning to me, because if you haven't played the game, I don't really want to spoil it per se, because I do highly recommend that game if you're looking to like have some sort of media that you do want to take away, like try and take something away from it, and keep for yourself. That game has a main character that struggles a lot with what is essentially a mental health like crisis. And while I didn't really take that for myself, it did apply to someone in my life that is very near and dear to my heart. And I know what it's like to be alongside someone who has those kinds of struggles, and to try and be there for them. And a lot of times it can get very difficult, and I think the game does a very good job at showcasing like what it's like for that person to be in their shoes. And even though it's difficult, it's still something that you can pull through, and there will always be people there for you. And so when I played that game, I think I fucking cried, which is timely, because I think the last thing that we finished was Pragmata, and I fucking bawled my eyes out, right? But Hellblade legitimately did make me fucking sob, because it hit very close to my heart. And I was very appreciative of how the devs and the writers for that game fleshed out the story in a way that allowed to have that experience. But that's essentially what the panel was about, and I highly recommend, once again, you go check out Rita Kameshiro's channel, Twitch, Twitter, what have you. After that, though, I think Vero had a panel she wanted to go to, but like I kind of wanted to split off because I did want to go to Artist Alley and just kind of explore the convention on my own. But I'll be real, I looked around Artist Alley and I was like, man, I'm fucking tired. And then I remembered. Oh wait, there's a place at OffKai. There's a little special something in OffKai. It's called the Quiet Room. It's called the Quiet Room. Dude, that place was exactly what I fucking needed. So, I have ADHD. And I don't really want to say that like I have other things, because I'm not like diagnosed with anything other than just like ADHD and like one or two other things, right? But I have like sensory issues, so being in a crowded place with a lot of noise going on, it gets very overwhelming. Now, it wasn't like unbearably so, but you know, like as when you need a break, you need a break. And so like the Quiet Room was literally there for that purpose, where like the room is just this big ass fucking room that's quiet as hell. It's cold as shit. There are fucking carpets, or like rugs and pillows and cushions and shit for people that were like taking naps and stuff, but there were also like tables for me to sit at, and I just grabbed the table, or I grabbed the chair, sat at the table, and just fucking decompressed, dude. It was one of the best feelings of my life. My feet were killing me because I did not wear my my running shoes that day, because the first day I was fine. Second day, I guess I underestimated how tired I'd be, or like how worn down I'd be. But it was very much needed. I legitimately spent like an hour and a half in there. It wasn't until Vero and her friend went to the maid cafe that like I got up purely by coincidence, left, and I bumped into them like literally around the corner, because that's where the line was for it. I was like, oh hey, I was like, oh, you go into the gaming room, and I'm just like, yep. I was not going to the gaming room. I just needed to get up and walk around because I was just like, I'm tired. I don't really, you know, even though like people were asleep in there, I'm not super comfortable sleeping in a room full of strangers. You know what I mean? That's just me. You lied? Yeah, no, I was just gonna like get up and like walk for like 30 seconds and then go back in. But then I bumped into you and your friend, and I was just like, well, I guess I'm going to the gaming room now. Which I did kind of need, because legitimately I was like falling asleep and I didn't really want to do that. So I went down to the gaming room, which I don't really have too many pictures of, but I did play a couple of games. They both had like arcade machines, rhythm games at the ass actually, and then like a whole line of consoles, as well as a gaming tournament going on, which I just caught like the tail end of an Uma Musume tournament. And that was cool to see, because like they legitimately played one of the concert videos. If you do play the video, you know what I'm talking about. But they did play one of the concert videos like as a celebration of the end. And that was cool to see. I saw a Helldivers cosplayer there too. That was fucking sick. But afterwards we did meet up for the Maid Cafe, hosted by I think it was mainly hosted by Mint and Matara. That was fucking fun, dude. That was so much whimsy. I was tired as shit still, because like I said, I didn't technically sleep, but I was just resting. I was physically recovering, but not like mentally recovering. But once we got in there was so much fucking whimsy in there, dude. There was so much whimsy in there that like I was like, oh, I'm awake. I'm awake now. I'm awake. I don't remember what I got exactly. I remember I did get like a scone and like a chocolate almond crusted croissant. Which actually were pretty good. At least to me they were. Apparently to others, not so much. But I did like them, because I'm not really like too big of a fan of sweets, so they were like just sweet enough for me to be like, and of course I like collected all of this shit on the table. The only thing I was sad that I didn't get to keep was the light stick up top, this little like star in the top right here. Did not get to keep that, but pretty much everything else except for, you know, like the fucking like plates and forks and shit. Our maid was I think her name was Hikari. She was really nice. She was very sweet. She was very fun too. We got to play like games, and I think we were kind of railroaded into Uno, because we did take a while to actually pick, and so I think there was only 2 options left, and so we picked Uno. When she handed out the cards though, that's what this photo is. This photo is the hand she gave me, and I was like, oh, that's quite unlucky. And I thought that I legitimately just had bad RNG until she looked at her own hand and was like, oh, these cards are not shuffled. Oops, and then these cards are not shuffled. I was like, oh, thank God, it's not just me. Like, they give me a fucking radioactive hand, dude. What is this? But I did get to grab some more merch, because they had like a venue exclusive booth there. I know we got like a group photo, me and Vero, but I can't show that obviously. But I did get to buy this light stick. That was like the one thing I wanted, and then we got this little Momo headband for free. I swear I got something else. Oh, I got a card. It was a photo card, but I don't have the picture of it. It was like a gacha photo card, but I did get this light stick. That's the main thing. That's the main thing I wanted, baby. But after that, we hit my second cafe. Some people had a third cafe. Some people had this third cafe. But we went over to the Hello Kitty cafe in San Jose, which, I'm gonna be real, dude. This shit was mid as fuck. So we had a bit of a mishap happen. We had a bit of an unfortunate mishap happen, where basically the tickets were first come first serve for the Maid Cafe at OffKai, right? So Vero and I both, when they came out, went to go grab tickets, trying to get like for specific like a general time slots area. The one that we ended up getting was for like 4 to 5, and then I got 5 to 6. And so once we like gave it a day or two, or like a few days, we're just like, okay, let's go to. We all decided as a group to go to this specific time. And so I was like, okay, and so I ended up refunding my tickets because we chose the 4 p.m. one, which is the one that Vera got. And so I canceled mine. But on the website, when you go, I saw that you can refund individual tickets. And so I was like, oh, hey, because we were going to go with some other people, but they ended up canceling. So I told Vera, hey, you can cancel and refund individual tickets. So you can get some of your money back for that. She was like, oh, okay, cool. She went to go do that. I think she went to refund just one ticket. And OffKai said, okay, here's all of your money back. And so they refunded all of the fucking tickets. And that was extremely frustrating. Nothing, it has nothing, no faults on Vero whatsoever. We got fucked over by some system bullshit. And the unfortunate part is because those tickets refunded, and obviously they process, and we don't find out until later about what happened. The tickets go back out into the wild, and people snatch them back up. So unfortunately, like, we legitimately couldn't get any more tickets. But we had another friend that we already were planning to go with, who was going to go with some other friends. Like, I think it was like a change of plans, like towards the end, and they were gonna go with some of their other friends. But their other friends ended up canceling. And so that friend was like, okay, I'm gonna refund my tickets. But their refund didn't process. So he had like some extra tickets to spare, didn't want to waste them, and so we fortunately were still able to go. But before we found out that we had that opportunity, instead we were like, okay, well, we couldn't go to the Maid Cafe, or the OffKai Maid Cafe, so let's go to the Hello Kitty Cafe. Because that sounds fun. And it did sound fun. And it was so fun until you get there. And it is not fun, like, at all. Like, I don't know if you can see this too well. Mobile users, RIP, rest in peace. I don't know if you can see this too well. This is the whole room. This is the whole room. There's like an extra thing that you have to like reserve, but it's mostly for just like pictures and shit. Long ass line. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It moved fairly fast, which was honestly probably very telling. We were rushed, but it was also ass. Yeah, no, it was ass, and we were a little bit rushed. Got there. I got myself an apple pie because I love pies. I like apple and strawberry lemonade, and the apple pie was so fucking bad. It was not good at all. And you might look at this photo and be like, wow, that actually looks like it's got some glaze on there. I thought the same thing until I put it in my mouth and was like, this is plastic. This whole place, this whole experience was like if plastic was a place. Like if I went to the plastic dimension, I'd imagine it look a lot like this. It would also taste like this too, because that's what it tasted like, and that's what it felt like. Strawberry lemonade was fine. It's supposed to be strawberry mints, and I think you can see like a little bit of green in there. They literally just like put one mint leaf in there and called it strawberry mints. I'm just like, bruh. I mean, it was fine. It was strawberry lemonade. You can't be too. I don't know how you can fuck that up. Thankfully they didn't. Gotta get one thing right, am I right? But yeah, it was hella disappointing actually. I was extremely saddened by just how mid it was. But the reason why we actually went over there is not only for the Hello Kitty Cafe, was we were going to an escape room, which I do not have any pictures of because I was too busy fucking being immersed. The second that we walked in, I was already looking around and stuff, because that place, if you for some reason don't know what an escape room is, it's literally just like a puzzle room where they lock you in for like an hour and you have to complete a series of puzzles in order to get out of the room before the timer ends. And they're usually themed. And the one that we got was like a time train, so like a time traveling train. And the whole thing was that like, oh, we lost one of our time cards in this era, so you need to figure out how to get to that era and get this time card to get out, otherwise you die or something like that. And it was really fun. I feel like we weren't too dumb. Our guide was very friendly and very helpful and accommodating. They were asking us a bunch of questions on like how we actually want to be helped. Do we want to do this? Like, do you want us to like give you hints? Do you want us to wait until you ask for one? Do you guys want to do a mix? We're like, hey, you guys look like you need hints and stuff like that. We only ended up getting, I want to say, like 3 or 4 hints, tops. And we got out with 50 seconds left on the clock, something around there. So we started at an hour and left at 59 minutes and 10 seconds, something like that. It was a lot of fun. We had some big brain moments, I'd say. I wish I could have a big brain moment right now and remember any of it. But my favorite thing was there was an Egyptian room, like an ancient Egypt room, and there was this giant snake head on the wall, and it had like a hole as a mouth. I'm just like, I want to stick my hand in there, but I'm scared. And everyone was just like, it's not gonna do anything. I stuck my hand in there, and it fucking hissed at me and blew air on my hand, like point blank. And like my whole arm was in there, right? So I fucking jumped and like went like ah. And then I got made fun of. Vero called me a coward. And then Vero proceeded to put her arm in there and then also get jump scared. She fucking shrieked. She shrieked and jumped. She knew it was gonna happen. She called me a coward because I got scared, even though I did it first. Well, actually what? Mods, timer out. Don't let me speak the truth. It's even worse. Oh my god, was it? Mods, let her speak the truth. You stuck your hand in there twice? No reaction. What? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Then we went to take pictures. I got scared and shrieked. That's crazy. That's crazy work. But after that, we just went home. We went back to the Airbnb and grabbed some pizza, played some Smash Bros and Nintendo Switch Sports. It was a good ass time, dude. It was hella chill. That was probably like my favorite like rest moment of the week was that. But some other things that like I wasn't really sure how to put together was and we got another cardboard cutouts picture, and you can just see like how many there were, and there's always like way more. I think there was the most on Saturday. Like it was packed on Sunday. There's my photo with the cosplayer. Apparently this does not count as a cosplayer. It counts as a boat. They said it's a mascot, but they counted it anyways. So Meadow wins in the end. And for some reason, OffKai was really obsessed with ribbons. I didn't see a single one of these at Anime Impulse. So when they were handing these out, like I legitimately didn't know what they were. I thought they were like a raffle at first, until they just kept giving more and more, and there's so many different ones. I'm just like, oh my god. Like there was a guy, I wish I could find that Twitter clip. There was a guy who had like, he was trying to go for the longest like string of ribbons. Like he just like attached all of them together. It was crazy. Like just from this convention alone, there's so many of them. And then this right here in the bottom right, we have the class of 2026 graduation graveyard, which was really fucking funny when I first saw it. It's such a funny thing to do. It's also really sad. Look at my goat Rosemi there. Fucking Kanata, Hollow Stars. Shitload of Hollow Stars members. It was good times, good times. What else? Is that everything for Saturday? That is everything for Saturday. My god, we've only been doing this for an hour. Good shit. Am I yapping really fast? I haven't really been looking at my notes too much. I know I talk fast though. Oh well. Sunday, the last day of the convention. Sunday was very unique. It was very unique because even we had some panels planned, but honestly, we didn't really feel like going to them too much. Like we just didn't really have too much of a vested interest in them at that point. and some other things came up that were a little bit more fun opportunities. For example, we well, every year, I was super extremely uber tired 2.5 HD Final Mix Turbo Edition and Knuckles I. Yeah, I was fucking tired. When I say this, I mean like I wasn't really like. It's hard to say. I don't want to say it was like physical or mental tired, but my brain was tired. Specifically my brain, as in like I could tell that I was not really like well rested enough, but also just kind of ignoring it. Does that make sense? Like enough to be like, oh, I can function as a human being, but kind of just barely. That kind of tired. This photo is a little bit unrelated. I only put this up because it was funny, and one of my best friend is British, and so I immediately sent her that shirt. Do not bring the British near me, for there will be heavy consequences if you do. I almost did want to buy a shirt from this vendor. There was a lot of funny ones there, but I'm not really too big of a fan of wearing like anime merch. Like it just doesn't really fit with me. It's just not really my kind of vibe. At least stuff that's not like super explicitly anime. Like if it just straight up has like an anime girl on the front or like the back, I'm just like, I'll pass. But if it's like, you know, like for example, if I can find the fucking doobie like photo again with John Cena, like this right here, if it's just like a logo or something like that, I'm totally down. Like I did wear my whatchamacallit, my Mume shirt, my Moom shirt on one of these days. I think it might have been this day. So the thing that we ended up doing, except for instead of going to the panels, was actually I got me and Vero got our friends, our lovely friends in our Cyber November group chat, Maple, Yuxi, and Alice. Got them on Discord and just toured a little bit of a virtual tour, because unfortunately they did not come with us to OffKai. Even though mark my fucking words, I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out. We will go to a fucking convention together. But we ended up just walking around. We took some VTuber photos with their models so they can show, so they can be like, oh, look, I was here, and stuff like that. It was really nice showing them around, taking pictures, because we're all decently like fans of the Wildcard Club, or at least like members in them. Like I'm a fucking huge Doki fan, right? Alice is a huge fan of Amelie or Monarch, and Maple was a fan of Iron Mouse. Also, I'm a huge fan of Rin as well. So this was like this whole thing was just like, oh yeah. Other than that, just walking around this alley one last time, showing our friends around until it was time for us to do the one thing that I was super fucking excited for, like above all else, the Winchester Mystery House. Oh, I put Mr. Oops. The Winchester Mr. House of Doom and Glory. Guys, if you don't know this about me, I fucking love history. I love history. I also love supernatural stuff. I'm really into horror, which I know you guys know that. So when you combine those, when you combine supernatural and history, oh baby, I was so fucking excited for this. I was so fucking excited for this. I was giggle mode. I was giggle mode. I was so hype. I was vibrating being there. So the first, I took a shitload of photos, and I thought this was gonna be longer, so I guess I probably could have showed more photos. But I'm not gonna show you all of them, just because there was so much. Like this place is fucking huge. So the first couple of photos are some of the outside scenery. The top right here was taken from, I think, the top floor of the main building. They had a little balcony that you get to see, like peek over, like towards the, what is that? Like the southeast area of the Winchester just property. It's so fucking beautiful up there, man. So anyway, this was a photo taken from one of the windows, I think, from the 4th floor. Dude, God forbid I know the name of any of these fucking rooms. Oh yeah, no, me neither. Me neither. Yeah, no rights. Hold up. This, I love taking this photo. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, this whole place, dude. But yeah, this photo was taken from, like, literally I was just like right here when I took the one in the front of the house. And then this was just off to the side. This garden was huge. And then we have the inside. I think this was like one of the first areas. Have you seen the movie of the house? No, but they did show us some of the mannequins that had some of the outfits from that movie. Never heard of the movie, never saw the movie. It seems like, from what the guide said, like he didn't really like the movie too much because it was very inaccurate and kind of made Sarah Winchester look like a bit of an insane person, which we'll get a little bit more into that in a sec. Like the history of this place. So this room in the top right here is actually her bedroom. It's actually the room that she passed away in as well, and it was super surreal to like be in such an old building. Like, this place has so much history, but it both does and doesn't have so much history in it, if that makes sense, because like it was being built during like the late 1800s, and I think stopped being built in like 1920 something, like 1922, when she passed away. So knowing like the history of it and being actually there was just, I was stun locked. I was stun locked. It's a beautiful house that like a lot of it just doesn't make sense. There's both is and isn't a lot of rhyme or reason to so much of the architecture. Gotta go to the Queen Mary next. I would like to, but also I'm afraid of the ocean, which I know like it's not technically in the ocean, like it's just on the shore. But I fucking hate the oceans, and I do not love being in a boat. But I would like to go to the Queen Mary. I think I could probably like stomach it. Right here was actually towards like one of the first areas of the house that we got to see. A couple of the areas in the house were actually legitimately like garages, but they were just in the middle of the house. So like legitimately you would walk in and then the floor would just start to slant upwards, and then there would be like a ramp just in the middle of the fucking house. And that's because she would park carriages in there. And it was like, whoa. Is the gaslighting shop? No real reason why I'm showing this. It's just I thought it was a funny name. That was a funny name for a room, the gaslighting shop. Right here, I don't remember what this room was called, but they have a organ here, and over on the right side they have like these mosaic windows, painted glass windows. That's the main drawing room. They were the only windows in the house that ever had warrants on them, and I wish I could see what they said right here, but for those a little bit too low quality on the slideshow. But they were Shakespeare quotes, and a lot of the history of the house is rumors, because Sarah Winchester was actually not that much of a talkative person to like other people, only her staff, and even then she kept very, very like she kept a lot close to herself. But it was rumored that the reason why it is there are Shakespeare quotes is because it was dedicated to her sister, I believe, who was a Shakespearean actress who unfortunately passed away. So they were kind of dedicated to her, and I thought that was really sweet. And so I wanted to showcase this room, not just because of that, but this room is just beautiful in general. I wish that we did get to walk out into here, but obviously, you know, it's a very historical building. It's very old, so they don't want people like stepping around too much of the house, like unsupervised, just to preserve history. Over here, like on the bottom left, we have like this staircase that it was one of the first things we saw. Like it's one of the very famous staircases that legitimately lead to nothing. So like you can see there's a couple steps that go up here, and this is a mirror that points up to where it goes. This goes nowhere. This is just the floor. It's just underneath the floor. There's nothing there, and the house was full of things like that. And then this staircase a lot of things I want to show are staircases because like a staircase I think are the most interesting part of the house. But this staircase, I forget what they called it. It was like a front back staircase or something. The steps themselves are only like 3 inches tall, and that's because Sarah Winchester could only, she had arthritis, so she could only lift her feet like a couple inches off the ground before she was like in excruciating pain. And so a lot of her staircases are custom built to her, so then she can actually walk up them. But obviously you can't have a staircase that's only like 3 inches because it's basically a ramp at that point. And so the way that she figured how to get that was just to go zigzag up like, I want to say it was like what, 13 flights of stairs. A 13 was a really prominent number in this, and like I said before, like we don't really understand why. A lot of the things that we believe are the reason why are honestly just speculation. One of the things that like first came to mind was how 13 is typically seen as like an unlucky number, or like it's a bad omen. But the house is littered with it, and that's more of like a recent thing. And so we don't really know the reason why she was so obsessed with things being at 13. I have my own reasons and speculation for it. In my head, in my interpretation, I think that Sarah was probably a very superstitious woman who might have been going under some mental health crises, and she had a lot of income to somewhat throw at that issue. I don't believe that she was crazy or insane per se, but I think a lot of the reasons why she does so many bizarre and abstract things is because of something that she believes was happening to her. I like to believe that there was some sort of like supernatural element to it. I think one of the more famous stories was that she was being haunted and threatened by evil spirits who basically had told her that when she finishes the house, she will die. And so she kept building the house more and more and more up until the day that she died. And I think she died when she was 83. She passed away in 1922, which was an extremely, I think she was building that house for 40 years straight, which is crazy. Granted, she had like her own construction team that she did house, and her own like nurses and whatnot to keep her around as much as possible. But still, like that kind of thing is just, it's so crazy that this is a real thing that actually happened. Like regardless of all like the supernatural, superstition, or speculation and stuff like that, what we do know is that this was a house that was being built constantly for 40 something years. A D&D side quest high key. And it's so incredible that it's still around to this day. If you ever get the chance to visit this place in San Jose, fucking do so. You will not regret it. And make sure that you get basement and attic access as well, because that's where we're going next, which was my favorite part of the tour, because what they do is they give you hard hats and they say, okay, you're gonna see a bunch of like signage and stuff that's going to guide you to where you should go, and good luck. And they just let you fucking roam free without a guide or nothing, and it was so much fun. It was like a dream come true. It was like stepping into a living museum. It was I know the house isn't alive or anything, but like it's just what it felt like. No guide whatsoever. You can just fucking go. Granted, they give you like rules and parameters, like, hey, don't touch anything. You know, we want to preserve history and stuff, and like people touching stuff is gonna make things deteriorate even more. It's gonna be harder to upkeep and stuff like that. So like you can go everywhere. Like stuff was like closed off and roped off, but like generally, so you had the chance to explore almost as much as you want, which, you know, I am a-okay with. I'm perfectly fine with the way that they did things, because it gave me a lot of essentially free will to just go about and explore at my own pace and really just soak in the history and architecture of this place. So right here we have the first basement. A lot of the photos are going to be of the basement, because I think that was the more interesting thing. I did wish that I got a photo of the attic, because, okay, so the reason why they give you a hard hat is because Sarah Winchester was only 4'10". And so a lot of the rooms, and specifically a lot of the places in the attic and basements, are made for her specific heights. And I'm not kidding when I say this. I'm 5'5". Okay, I'm 5'5". If I got on my tippy toes, I'm touching the ceiling. Dead ass. The pipes, even lower. I bumped my head on those pipes maybe 3 times. Maybe 3 times. Which, you know, that's why they give you the hard hat. But it was so fucking cool to see. We got, my tall ass would be smacked around. Yo, we were saying, because one of our friends is pretty tall. And we're like, dude, if one of them came over to the Winchester house, they would have been fucking just like basically just hunched down the whole time. But like, okay, so we have the basement right here. We're going to go into more of that. Oh, this is not in the basement, but this was actually closer to the attic. There was a big earthquake that happened in California, one of the biggest and deadliest natural disasters, at least like for earthquakes, to have ever happened. And that did affect the house a lot. But it was unfortunately too expensive to try and like repair. So instead they opted to just seal off a lot of the parts of the house that were damaged. But of course, after she passed away, people got to unseal those, and they actually instead just decided to keep it like that. So we can actually see a lot of the places that were damaged from the earthquakes. And again, it's like one of those things like, oh my god, this is the thing that happened like over 100 years ago, and I'm looking at it right now. I was fucking wide-eyed and giddy, dude. I was so happy to be here. In the bottom left right here, we actually have the basement elevator that leads up to the top floor, which is what this photo is in the top left, which was really funny to see because we actually got to see the door that leads to that. So you can see like up here where the, okay, my bad. It doesn't lead to the top floor, but I think it's just like the floor right below it. But at the actual top floor, there was just a door that if you open it, it leads to the elevator shaft where the elevator doesn't go. Meaning if you step through that door, you fall like fucking 8 floors. And let's be real, probably fucking die right here. But it was like, it's so cool to see how much like how things worked back then, because you can like you can legit see like the mechanisms for how these elevators work. We saw like some water pumps and generators that helped to make these elevators work. We saw how not only that she had gramophones, but also call boxes way back in the early 1900s, like long before people actually had like telephones like in their houses. Like that was still like a luxury, and cell phone sure shit didn't exist yet. But it was nice to see how, you know, because she was an older lady, and she had arthritis, so she couldn't move around a lot. The mansion is fucking huge, and so the way that she communicated with her staff was she actually had, you know, like I said before, she had her staff live with her, and if she needed help, she had these call boxes that had these other, that had these buttons that she could press to change the numbers on the call boxes. So they would ring, show you a number, and that number indicated where she was calling from, what room she was in. So then they would go and help her. And it's like, it's little stuff like that. She just fascinated me that I got to see on this trip, and I'll forever be grateful for being able to witness stuff like that. My favorite thing that happened was in the basement. So this hallway on the left right here, this photo on the left, I'm not kidding you. It's called the long dark hallway. I cannot see the end of it. You cannot see the end of it. I don't know for how long it goes because it is pitch black down there. But what I do know is that it does go. It does go. Right before this, you can see this little like walkway on the left. And that's what this photo is. It's peeking right here. Now to the left of this, like just before you get to these parts, there's a sign that's talking about ghost sightings in the area or like around the house, and how not only have tourists and visitors claim to have seen ghosts in various different parts of the house, but also staff. And so, give me one sec. And so there was a sign there how you could see people have claimed to have seen one of the older, one of Sarah's construction members. I believe it was the carpenter. They claim to have seen him around this area in the basement. And so I walk up to here because I'm just like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome, right? Because I love horror stuff, and this was creepy as shit. So I walk around this corner. I'm looking down this thing. This hall, you can see the end of it. Like, it's only like 6 feet long, and like 5 feet. Like after 5 feet, it's just pitch black. So like if you squint, obviously we're not allowed to take like flash photography or like use our flashlights or anything. So if you squint, you can see the end of the hallway. But right here, I think there's like I think it was like a radiator or something. But like even me, as someone who's not like easily scared, I walked down here, looked in, and I was staring down it, and it was like giving me this really unnerving like vibes from it. And so I looked at Vera, who is very easily scared and very skittish, and was holding onto my backpack the whole time, begging me not to leave her behind. I go to her and I say, wow, this hallway's actually really creepy. Like it's kind of disturbing me a little bit. And so she peeks around the corner, and I kid you not, this was something that I didn't know people could actually do this in real life. Okay, like I legitimately did not know this was a thing. She shrieks. She shrieks loud. The loudest I've ever heard anybody scream in my entire life. She jumps, turns around, and I shit you not, she starts running in place, Scooby-Doo style. She starts running in place for like a good second. And then just takes off and runs off. Fucking screaming. And it scared the fuck out of me because, like I said, like I was creeped out by this corner, but there wasn't really anything there to be like, oh, you did fell to the floor. No, you're right. You ran like 3 feet away and then fell to the floor. Not like hard, but like just like fell. Like the knees just gave out. And so like I saw this and I was creeped out, but I wasn't like, oh my god, there's something there. I didn't even say it looks like there's someone there. I just said like, man, this hallway's kind of creepy. Look. That's it. And so her reaction was so explosive that I actually legitimately got scared. Like I was like, like that, and like jumped, like jolted. And there was other people in here. Oh, God, I should have let up with this, but like essentially, like when we were like going down to the basement, there were like people talking and stuff. And specifically, there were some like people. There's some groups that were like making ghost noises, you know, like the oh and stuff like that. Ooh. And Vero, like I said, very, very, very easily scared. Calls out, is like, well, I think she was just like, yo, do you hear that? Is that people? I'm like, yeah, no, I hear that. It's like, I think it was just other people. And so she goes, is there anyone there? Just calls out, is there anyone there? Nothing. And then they keep making noises, and she got scared. She screamed at something. I don't remember like how it was exactly, Vera. If you remember how it went, yeah, the order of events. But essentially, like a group felt bad because they thought they were just being silly, but they didn't know that she was actually scared. We turned the corner to a person. Oh, that's what it was. But yeah, they felt bad. Like they legitimately like apologized because they're like, oh my god, I think I traumatized this girl. And then yeah, and then the Scooby-Doo corner happens, and they apologized again. They were very nice. It was very sweet. It was funny actually running into like some other VTubers there, and then they're like OffKai attendees over there as well. Obviously, it's not like that much of a coincidence because, you know, we're at the same convention center going to a very famous tourist attraction. You know, like it's not that much of a coincidence, but it was cool to see. But down there, it's like, so like we can see right here, we have like this I don't know what this room was necessarily called. I think it was just I called it like a seance room because it was this, and there's like a bunch of chairs, and then there was also down here is this where this spirit box was, and they had like a legitimate like seance circle where you can, you know, if you don't know what a spirit box is, if you ever played like Phasmophobia or anything, it's the thing that like it's a radio that keeps switching frequencies that it's supposed to allegedly help you talk to spirits and ghosts and dead people and such. I'm not necessarily like a believer and stuff like that, but when it comes to people, when it comes to interacting with that kind of thing, I always try to treat it as respectfully as possible, because like it's not that it has less to do with the fact that I don't believe in it, or like whether or not you do or do not believe in it, but like it's just when you're going to do that, I always just say it's safer to assume that it might be true, because if you're talking to a dead person, like there's a saying like don't speak ill of the dead, right? And I feel like you should also treat the dead with a lot of respect, because not only are they essentially your elders, but they're people that passed on, and if they're clinging to life out in these areas, I feel like it's very disrespectful if you just try and like, you know, treat it as a game or like mess around with them, you know. So like I always try to treat these things kind of with some level, with a high level of respect. Granted, I don't necessarily believe that stuff like this is true per se. I don't disbelieve it. I mean, it would be cool. So yeah, so we asked it a couple questions. I think Vero asked if they were going to kill us, and I said, please don't ask it that. You're treating the ghost as if they are a criminal. That's not very respectful. There was another group beforehand who were messing around with this. I think those were the people that were making ghost noises. Yeah. The box allegedly said, I don't talk to streamers, and that's to which one of the streamers apparently that was with us went, well, I guess they're not talking to me. I didn't really get too many like responses. Like you can try and dig around for like things that you think, like it literally says, I know you can't really see too well, it's like listen to the way words sounds like, and then what you think they are. And I'm just like, what do you mean what you think they are? It's like, well, what are the words? So I didn't really get to like any sort of real supernatural, like authentic supernatural response or anything like that. Not that I was expecting it anyways, but it was nice. It was nice. I also wish that these EMF readers were actually on, but I think they were probably dead, or just there for display. Other than that, I think that's about it. I did get to ride my first bus since I was like a kid, which I don't really have too much memory of. Like when I say like a kid, I think I was probably like a toddler, and that was fun. It's like a roller coaster in there. It's like a roller coaster, but nobody wants to be there. Other than that, I had a very beautiful garden, but I did show you guys that. I think that's about it. So I did want to give some closing thoughts. I do kind of want to get a little real for a second. I think I alluded to this a few times earlier, but I did kind of want to like open up just a tiny bit. Obviously not too much, because like, no offense guys, but I'm just a fucking chud. You know what I mean? This whole like experience like opened up a lot of things for me. It opened up it opened my eyes to a lot. I'm not like okay, so like I think if you've been following me for a long time, like I've been doing this for about 5 years or so now. And obviously I've gone through different iterations of not only me as a VTuber, but also just like what I do. Like I mentioned earlier, like I remember I legitimately wanted to be focused a lot more on music stuff, and then I never actually did that and stuff like that. And then I wanted to become like a horror VTuber, and never actually did that. And then I wanted to do like ASMR, and ended up like fully going through with that and stuff like that. But seeing all these people and like fans of, you know, these creators, VTubers, and just like this kind of culture in general was really heartwarming to see. A few years ago, I did have my own Discord server, but I always felt bad because I'm not, believe it or not, I'm actually not too much of a social person, right? I don't like to think that I'm an antisocial person, but I think that's also would be very fair to say that I'm very antisocial. And so I like to keep to myself a lot. And essentially what I came to this con for was just like, I fully expected just essentially just be people watching, right? And even though a good majority of that was what happened, I'm not like disappointed by that. It's what I expected, and I had a great time going to the con. But like also I had some very cool experiences that I don't think I would have had if I didn't do this. Meeting my friends IRL for the first time was very nice. It was so lovely getting to hang out with them, and I loved every second of it. I got to see what community was like. I think I kind of just like derailed for a second, but excuse me, because I'm just kind of got a lot of thoughts, right? But, you know, I mentioned the Discord server, but I felt bad because I'm not really the most social person, and so a lot of times I just kind of ghost the server, and I don't really like talk too much in it. And so it felt, I don't want to say like antithetical, but like hypocritical in a way, of me opening up a place to like have a community and then just completely ignoring the community. It just didn't feel right with me, and so I ended up closing it down a while ago. And ever since, I didn't really see a point of doing that. Like, I don't really interact with too many people too often. Like even like my friends. Like I much more so keep to myself. But getting to see community, like what that means to people in person, like with my own eyes, seeing people like do meet and greets and stuff, and just like sharing their love for any sort of specific thing or person with other people that also share that same love for that person or just interest. It was it kind of fucking like, I just felt it, you know? I felt it in my heart. And not to get like too fucking sappy or stuff, even though like I do that a lot. At least like internally. I loved it. And it was like, why don't I have this? Why don't I have this? And I don't mean that in a way of like, oh, I'm not like envious or like jealous or anything. I'm just like, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. Like, other than just like me. Like I just don't have it because I don't think I wanted it enough, or even at all. Like, and I also don't really feel deserving of that. And I don't mean that in a way just like, oh, I don't know why anyone likes me or something like that. But just more so just like, I don't put in the work to earn that. And I feel like for a while now, I haven't really been earning the respect of you guys or of a lot of people. Like, I love my friends, and I know my friends love me back. And I'll always appreciate them. But seeing this kind of made me realize, just like, oh fuck, I kind of have like a empty fucking hole right now. I don't want to say it was like plugged up, but it was more so like covered. Like when you have a hole in the wall and you stick a poster over it, that kind of thing. And I'm just like, I gotta do something about that. I think obviously I'm not gonna get into personal details or anything, but I've been working on myself a lot these past few years, and I think I've gotten to a point now where I was able to look at like what is next, right? There's nothing in my way now. I've done, obviously not everything I can, because life is continuous. Things change, things pop up, and you gotta keep dealing with whatever gets put on your plate. But, you know, looking at that poster, it's covering up a hole in the wall, and I'm just like, the hole's still there. You know it's still there. When are we gonna plug the hole up? Shit like that. I've had a lot of good experiences in this community, streaming and content creation in general. But you know, more specifically like VTubing, right? But I've also had like a lot of bad experiences. A good chunk of the people that I met originally are either gone or I am glad they are gone. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of scared me in a sense of like, oh, that kind of got to me more than it did. And I thought that like I was coping with it like in a healthy way. And I think you can make an argument that I was. But it's like putting a band-aid over a bullet wound. It's like, yeah, that's not a bad thing to do, but you kind of have to treat the wounds though, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. I also, one of the other things, like, I guess just to sort of wrap up that point, is that I want to do more. I want to do more. I hope I'm ready for more. I really want to be ready for more. And if I'm not ready for more, then I need to get my ass in gear to be ready for more. It kind of leads into my next thing of like, at first I noticed a lot of the people around me, and I understand that this is probably going to sound a little gross of me, and it likely is. But I was kind of like, I've been working, but I love you too, King. You got anything? You got anything you set your mind to? I have 10,000% faith in you. Thank you, Ether. What's up, man? Good to have you around. I'm glad to see you. I hope you're doing good. I hope work's going well. I looked at the people around me and was like, at first, it was one of my notes actually when about the first day, but I decided not to read it because I really didn't feel the same way. Where I at first I was like, man, there's all these people here, and they're like very, I'm trying to say this without sounding too mean, but I don't think there really is any way to, especially since like I kind of just have to own it. It's very like cringe. Now obviously there's like 4 for 10 part. Oh yeah, the Sir Winchester. Okay. There's a lot of people there that's just like, they're being cringe. And obviously there's like people who are like cringe, right? And they do shit in public that like, hey man, maybe like tone it, maybe dial it back a bit. But if I'm being honest, that's not what it was. And it wasn't, I wish I could find the tweet that said this, but I'm glad that I was able to see it. I'm glad that I was able to see that tweet, because it sort of sparked that idea that like, I got this cloudy vision of what I'm trying to say, and then that tweet pops up and I'm just like, oh fuck, yeah, no, that's it. But it was legitimately like internalized stigma against not really other people, but like projection is the best way I can put it. Where like, I think I'm so afraid of being perceived that I saw other people being so openly themselves and thought, oh, that's weird. They're being weird. And it wasn't until I saw that and I was just like, wait a minute, no, what the fuck? No, I'm being weird. They're just being happy. And all of like these years of me being essentially like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not desensitized, but like, there's a word for it, dissociative of myself. Because there's such a thick barrier between me and the outside world, where I'm like, I see other people who have like their, not like guards down, but like they're themselves. And I'm like, oh fuck, dude. I'm the weird one. And I don't mean that as to say like, if they were really the weird ones, then that's fine. That means I'm fine. But you know what I mean. Imposter syndrome. I mean, yeah, maybe, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but like, I feel like imposter syndrome is more like, you don't believe in yourself enough, but it's not that I didn't believe in myself, it's just that like there was just nothing there. I didn't allow there to be anything to believe in. So it was less of like me not believing in myself and me not allowing myself to be enough of me to be happy. And I think I caught like a whiff of that during the Maid Cafe. Just silly as it sounds. But there's a reason why I said specifically was that place was full of whimsy. It's because like there's so many people there that were just like fully embracing it, you know? I'm prescribing a daily dose of you. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, I was just I saw it. It was such a close example of being like, oh, these people like don't care, and I care a lot. And I think I've been telling myself for so long I don't care, not because like I didn't actually care, but more so as I didn't allow there to be anything to care about. And so I think this next year I want to try and do better. Like, I just want to be a better version of me. And I'm not like, again, like I'm not saying like I am bad. I'm not like, oh, nobody should believe me, or like nobody should believe in me, or nobody should love me because I'm not worth it or anything like that. I mean, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that I am disappointed in myself. Like it's very internal. Like I've allowed myself to get this so far, not like down in the dumps, but more like I put up so many walls that I actually don't know what it's like to have to be outside of that, in a sense. If that makes sense. The only time I was ever ashamed of being me was singing Under the Sea a little too loud in the line for when the raid at Disneyland. Oh no, I felt that. I think after during around like day 2 or 3 of the con, like I was just singing in the line. Because like at that point I was just like, oh my god, wait, nobody cares actually. Nobody cares. I stopped listening to people's conversations, and so in my mind I was like, oh, nobody's listening to me. Who cares? And obviously I'm not like, oh, I'm fixed now. Right? Shit like that takes time and whatnot. But I'm happy to be able to have that like shoved in my face. You know, it's a good wake up call, and I'm glad that I did this trip. And I'm glad I had such amazing friends to allow me to safely, they gave me such a safe environment to be able to have that observation. So, yeah, big ups. But enough of that shit. Lame, am I right? Up top. But yeah, I do want to do better. Like obviously, like personally wise, and I won't get into that here. But like the stuff that I do want to do better for you guys is more so just like putting belt to ass and actually making things that make me feel proud of your guys's viewership, supports, and what have you. I want to be. Sorry, I got a little choked up there. Not gonna lie. Hang on, give me a second. Oh, fuck, I closed my Twitch. I realized I never hit the go live button on YouTube. Oh, no. It's okay, we still have the VOD. We still have the VOD. I'm just gonna end the stream. I'm so sorry. That's why the YouTube chat never came up on my OBS. It's because it wasn't live. Time to upload the VOD manually, like, oh my god, low-key. Actually, yeah, it's a good thing I still have my VOD channel. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I hope Ghost wasn't waiting too long. I know he popped up in chat, and I was like, why is he not? He usually says hi back. Delphi, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Also, it was very nice. It was very nice, actually, like, meeting you and hanging out with you. I had such a great time. And I'm glad you had a good time too. Fuck, what was I saying? I got lost in the weeds. But yeah, I want to be that, like, what I saw there was like community. I saw people so happy to meet like people that genuinely inspired them to be where they want to be, and being just so happy, just being a light for someone's day. I think I kind of forgot about that along the way. I got too bogged down in the mess of like, what do people think of me, and rather I hope someone is happy. You know what I mean? And I want to be worthy of that for anyone that comes across this little shitbox. So I want to do better for you guys. But just so we don't end on such a real fucking note. Holy shit. We are gonna be back with streams later this week. I actually don't remember what we were playing exactly. I know we need to finish up RE9, and I think we need to go back and finish up Devil May Cry. But in case other stuff pops up as well, Nuclear Creep, thank you so much for the bits. Thank you. Really appreciate it. In case we don't... I also want to just do some other like random shit as well. I am a little bit more focused on making like actual more stuff like that marathon video that they put out. Maybe a little bit more like essay-ish. But yeah, I've been on a Marvel Rivals crack binge, so expect more of those. I don't think I'm gonna put those on YouTube just because I don't want to flood the feed with just like hero shooter gameplay, but like expect more crack. I mean, Rivals. Rivals. Honestly, I'm not sure if I mentioned this beforehand, like on a previous stream, but like Rivals reignited that fucking like competitive streak in me. Oh, and Valorant. Yeah, I want to get good at Valorant. Marvel Rivals, it reignited that like competitive streak in me that died with Overwatch. I'm not sure if I could ever get back into competitive Overwatch, like as much as I did before, but I am definitely in it for Rivals, and I want to be in it for Valo. I'm ass at Valo, I am also ass at Valo. But you gotta take your lumps. You gotta get your ass beat before you become a stone face. I suck duking competitive games. No, I feel you. Free for an hour if anyone tries to. You know what, I might take you up on that. I might take you up on that actually. I don't know what rank you are right now, but I am I'm GM, I think. I'm either Diamond 1 or GM. I'm one of those two. But yeah, I will say thank you guys so much for joining me. If you were at OffKai, I hope you had a good time. If you weren't and you are thinking about going, I would actually say go. It was a fun time. I don't really see a downside to doing it. I think the next one is happening in April, towards the end of April. So if you have the time and money for that, fucking do it, dude. It was a good time. It's a great time. And if you're in the area, go to the Winchester House. Do it. Definitely on my list to go. Well, I hope you have a good time. If you do end up going. And that's gonna be it for me. I will post more about streams later this week, so keep an eye out for that. You can also sub to my YouTube channel or my Twitter to keep up with whatever. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys another time. Have you all a good night. Bye bye.